Welcome to Mitten Music. We had the opportunity to talk with Chris Taylor, the founder of Fuzz Fest, before the launch of Fuzz Fest 11 at the Blind Pig in Ann Arbor. We have a guest tonight that runs a festival called Fuzz Fest. Welcome, Chris Taylor. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, Chuck Taylor. Great to see you. I was asking Chris if he owned Chuck Taylors, and he has owned several pair in his lifetime. So that's good enough for me.
Yeah, but don't call him Chuck. Don't call him Chuck.
No.
You do go by another name, though, right? You have kind of a nickname?
Jukebox or Box or... It's a long story. Yeah.
All right.
But, yeah.
But you took that name and you use that as your production company.
Yeah.
So how this production company, because this kind of leads into Fuzz Fest a little bit, but like, how did you start that? Was it because of Fuzz Fest?
Okay, so I got the nickname Jukebox in 1979. That's when I met the singer in my band Mazinga.
Okay.
And that's a whole other story, but yeah, Mazinga, cool band. And so when I've been playing in bands since like 1988 or something. Long time, dating myself, but that's fine. I don't care. I'm proud of it. So eventually I started booking shows, and then I needed like a name to put it under, right? So I just used Jukebox Productions. Okay. And then, around 2014, some friends of mine were doing Ipsy Fest, which was like a big, multi-band, multi-day fest and stuff over at the Elbow Room. And then some other friends were doing shows at like Smalls where they had 3 stages. And I just thought that was amazing because you could cram all these bands into like one night, Mm-hmm. So I got really burned out on driving to Detroit to play festivals like Hamtramck Fest, Arts Beats and Eats, and like whatever, Every other weekend I was driving out there, and I was like, man, I want shows here by my house so I could just go down the road.
Yeah.
So I started up Fuzz Fest.
All right. So, yeah, you said 2014, right? So this is technically this year is the 11th. Yeah. Because of COVID, I'm sure that was a year that was a lost year. But so what was the first Fuzz Fest like? What was that starter? It
took place at Woodrifts. It was 2 stages. Woodrifts was cool because it was kind of an L shape, like main stage here, and then the pool tables were over here, and they moved the pool tables for us, and so we could have the stages set up. And then we had a light show kind of down here where we could show lights on either stage. I'm really into doing like psychedelic liquid light show stuff.
Oh, great.
And we were able to do that. And it was really cool. It was great. 33 bands, pretty much the same setup I have now, only I had to move it to the Pig. Woodrifts closed, and there really wasn't a good place to do like a 2-stage crazy fest like that in Ipsy at the time. So
your first Fuzz Fest was 33 bands.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's impressive for the first time you're doing that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, it sounded like you had a lot, you had some obviously connections booking other things through your production company, right?
Or just through playing in bands, I just knew people.
Just knew them, yeah. Okay.
I was doing Blue Snaggletooth and Mazinga at the time.
Okay.
So, and I was also in this other band called Power Train with Scott Morgan. I don't know if you guys know Scott. He's kind of a local Ann Arbor legend. He used to be in a band called The Rationals in the 60s. They were really big back then. They had a hit with Respect around the same time as Aretha Franklin, or right before that. Regional, like
sure, yeah.
And then he was later in the 70s. He was in a band called Sonic's Rendezvous Band with Fred Sonic Smith from the MC5. And I hooked up with Scott in the late 90s, and then we started Power Train around 2000, 2001, something like that. I forget. But played with him for like 10 or 15 years. That was really cool. Anyway, I forget where I was going with that. Sorry.
Well, we were just talking about you started out with 33 bands. It was the connections
at the Fuzz Fest. Yeah.
And
I just curate it myself. There's no sign up sheet. There's no bands just contact me, and if I think they're cool, I'll put them on. Otherwise, I'm going to shows or I'm watching who's doing stuff. People are good and they're releasing records. I want to book them. So yeah, people are always asking if there's a like an admissions process or whatever you call it. No, not really.
Very informal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just me pretty much.
I'm trying to think of, Jeff, didn't we see Mazinga last year?
Yeah, we saw him at Gig. Yep.
Gig. I was trying to think of where we saw them. I couldn't remember. I'm like, I know it wasn't just a specific show. It was something else. It was Gig. I couldn't remember which. I apologize. My memory is not that great. But heck yeah, you guys.
With Carbon Decoy.
Carbon Decoy. Yeah. Yep, that's right.
They were great.
You guys ripped. That was great.
Thanks.
There was a lot of running around from your band.
And for people who don't know, Chris, you play guitar in Mazinga.
Yeah.
Is that what you played in Blue Snaggletooth as well?
Yeah, I play guitar and sing in Blue Snaggletooth as well.
Okay.
And I play bass for Scott Morgan's group.
Gotcha. Okay. So you switched it up a little bit on the instruments over the years.
Yep.
So
longtime musician.
Yeah.
I was going to say, before we talk more about Fuzz Fest, can you tell us about Blue Snaggletooth, since I'm assuming that's the newer of the bands you're a part of?
So
the more recent one.
I started Blue Snaggletooth in 2009 and went through a bunch of different lineups over the years. And then the band broke up in 2016, and we just got back together this year. We have 2 albums out from back then that are pretty cool. And then we're working on new stuff right now. We're going to have a new release for Fuzz Fest.
All right.
Yeah. 2-song single. Yeah. New t-shirt, blacklight poster. It's like a stoner rock band.
Yeah.
Really into like The Sword and Hawkwind and Black Sabbath and stuff like that.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
So did you guys pick back up after a decade with the same lineup, or was there a slight difference?
Slight difference. We got Donnie Blum from Mazinga on drums.
Okay.
For Snaggletooth as well. We all share this awesome practice space. We just got hooked up with this amazing rehearsal space in March, and it really fired us all up, you know.
Cool.
It's right down the street from my house. It's really nice.
Oh,
perfect.
Badass.
Yeah. It has air conditioning.
And Blue Snaggletooth, so that's a Star Wars reference, right? We were talking earlier. Yeah. Is that the guy that, does he play like a little flute because it's in the cantina, right? He's one of those characters.
So the story behind the Blue Snaggletooth is there's a character in Star Wars. He's just a side character. He's not one of the band musicians. He's just sitting kind of next to the booth that Han Solo's in at the time when he shoots Greedo. Snaggletooth's kind of sitting there, and he's wearing like a brown kind of suit, and he's got a snaggletooth and kind of bug eyes. He kind of has a walrus face. But Sears released exclusive Star Wars set. It was like the street of Mos Eisley, like the desert city, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it came with a blue Snaggletooth action figure. The reason they called him Blue Snaggletooth, he's dressed in like a blue disco suit with big silver boots with the Snaggletooth head. But that isn't how the character was portrayed in the movie. So that figure was only exclusive to the Sears set. You could only get him in 1979. So he's a really rare Star Wars action figure. The actual one that they released on the card was Red Snaggletooth, and he was half the size. He was like a smaller figure.
Do you have a Blue Snaggletooth figure?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, you do. Do you have more than one?
No. They go for like $400-500. So.
I'm not surprised. Okay. Hell, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So the name did like Sears dub the name, or was it actually the name in the movie?
No, there was no name in the movie.
Yeah, okay.
No.
So who made the name up?
The name Snaggletooth for that character in the movie comes from the crew. And then a lot of times when Kenner made the Star Wars action figures, they just got a list of names that came kind of like from the crew sheet. Walrus Man, Hammerhead, whatever,
Like placeholder names for just a character that's not going to have lines. They are shown, but so you got to credit them somehow as it's a character. Because it's a Lucas,
Right. So it's not just a regular guy walking in the background. You got somebody who is unique. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's where the name comes from. Originally, I was going to start a stoner rock band with my wife called Blue Unicorn, but she was busy and couldn't get down with it. So we ended up starting the band Blue Snaggletooth instead.
A reunion of sorts with Blue Snaggletooth.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
You could see that and some new music at Fuzz Fest 11.
Yep.
That's going to be happening here August 27th through the 29th.
Yep. Snaggletooth plays Thursday night.
That's what I was just looking up to see when they played. So we got Blue Snaggletooth on Thursday. We got Mazinga on the Saturday the 29th.
The Mugs are headlining Friday.
Yep.
Winds of Neptune.
Glass Chimera, brother. Glass Chimera is one of my top bands that I love so much.
Yeah, their guitar players fire.
Sick. Yep.
They're great. Their whole band's great. But I've got a lot of out of town bands coming too. Like Coyote Man's coming from Chicago. They're playing early on Saturday. They just put a new record out. They're really good.
Cool.
Let's see who else. There's a lot.
Cherry Drop. We've heard of Cherry Drop.
I'm excited. I've never seen Cherry Drop live, but Carbon Decoy pumps them up pretty good.
Yeah, they're good.
I know they're friends with them and Glass Chimera, so I got to check them out soon.
Yep, Ghost Pipe.
Yep, they're familiar with them.
Yeah, I haven't heard of I saw Ghost Pipe and I was like, ooh, that's like this is a list of bands that I like. Half of these guys more than half I've never heard of, and I have to check them out. I feel like.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of the cool thing.
Thanks for the list. Yeah, that's rock.
And another cool thing about it is like it's kind of like a boiler room for bands because their bands are facing each other when they play. You know.
Okay.
One band's setting up while the other band's playing, and all the bands. There's so many bands. They all get to mingle and meet. You know, it's like a networking event.
Yeah. So what time is the shows start on each day? Same
7.
time, 7 o'clock.
Doors at 7. First band 7:15, and no breaks. Just goes.
And then how long is their sets typically?
30-minute sets.
30 minutes. Okay, that makes sense.
Then the headliner can play as long as they want.
Okay.
Headliner goes on at 12:15. It's like 7:15, 7:45, 8:15, 8:45. You know, just keeps going.
I mean, and you got to be running a good oil machine to be changing out, getting ready. I mean, like you said, you got the 2 stages, so that helps a lot. But still, that. If you get off track, at any point,
yeah, you got to have backline. That really helps if bands use it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of times bands want to use their own drums or their own big amp or something. That's fine. They can bring their stuff. It's just going to be a big pile of stuff in the corner. But you know, I try to provide a bass amp and drum set for the stages so that people don't have to bring those. That helps a lot with changeover.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the bands are usually really good about that stuff. And I'm there stage managing, throwing cabinets around, moving stuff.
I was going to say, all the drummers are cool with using that drum set. Like, they would rather just use that than have to monkey with pulling in and out of their stuff?
It all depends. A lot of it depends on the genre of rock that the bands are. You know what I mean? Okay. The more the metal bands want to use their own stuff. Maybe like the indie bands or whatever, however you want to classify it. Just It seems to be the metal bands are more particular about their gear. I don't know. Yeah.
And that's a good point. You talk about genres. So it's a rock show, rock festival, right? But it's not just all metal. Like you said, I think you said there's maybe some punk, some garage, some psych rock.
Yeah. And I've had like country rock bands. I've had some ambient, like almost techno-y kind of stuff. I try to avoid that just because I want this to be like a rock fest. You know what I mean? But rock and roll encompasses so much. You know, it goes everywhere. All different kinds of stuff. You know?
For sure.
Definitely some punk. We got Reckless Rhythms playing, Haley and the Crushers. I don't know if you heard of them. They're great.
I have heard of them, yep. Mm-hmm.
I have not.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, good mix. So from your first Fuzz Fest to now, it's been pretty much the same type of variety of rock as well? You've been...
Yep. And I try to mix it up as much as I can and bring in, different types of sounds.
And are you always like for 12 years ago to now, do you have a couple bands that are always there that are kind of your mainstays, or do you pretty much kind of rotating out and trying to keep it different every year for the most part?
I do try to rotate it, but I do have some mainstays. Human Skull is a local Ann Arbor group. They've played, I don't know, 8 of them or something.
Yeah.
They've played a bunch. So Yeah, there's a couple that stick around. And then if I'm in a band, there was a point where I didn't play for like 5 years after Blue Snaggletooth broke up. I just kind of, my son was young. I took a family break,
Sure.
mental break, because I'd been playing for so long. I still played like random shows. We would get together with pals and do the Halloween show where you play as like CCR, or we did the Misfits, CCR, Danzig, Rocky Erickson. I played a bunch of those. Those were fun. But my bands, if I'm playing in a band, I'm usually going to play it. So,
well, hey, you're curating
Right.
this thing. You can do whatever you want, right? So that's
Right.
that's the beauty.
So, are you already thinking about next? I mean, even though this hasn't kicked off yet, I mean, you've been promoting it for so long. You've already planned it out. Like now, it's time to execute. Are you already thinking about next year?
I am. And every year I tell myself I want to make it bigger and do like a multi-venue of type of event, because there's several bars there on that strip where the Blind Pig is. And I'd like to incorporate those. And then there's a new place called the Ann Arbor Funhouse. It's up the street from the Blind Pig. And I'd really like to incorporate that because they have two venues, kind of. They have like the basement bar venue, and then they have a venue above the barbecue place on the second floor.
Okay.
So I'd like to make it more like the Blowout or something, or like some of those Detroit events where there's like, I don't know, 100 bands or something.
Sure. Yeah, that's the second time we've heard of the Funhouse recently. It's a new venue, right? Yeah, this year. Okay.
Good stuff. We played there. Mazinga played there a couple of years ago before it was the Funhouse, in the basement venue. So it's a barbecue place on the street level. Then above that is supposed to be like the bigger room, like more like a Blind Pig size like venue. Wow. And then in the basement they've got like a basement bar. It's kind of small, but it's still like cool for little bands,
Sure. Yeah.
And we played that.
Okay.
That was cool.
Yeah.
They have an elevator too, which is nice. You roll your stuff in and it takes it right down to where you play, so you don't have to deal with stairs and stuff.
What was it called before the Funhouse?
Just MASH, I think.
MASH.
Like the MASH bar. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember MASH. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember because they had two locations. They had I think it was Ann Arbor and maybe Ypsilanti, or they had another one somewhere else. I can't remember, but yeah, they had two.
But they have Slow's Barbecue is the main place.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah. So but underneath that and above it. So I would my dream is to have that like at night, and during the day shut the street down in front of the Pig and have two stages there during the day. Start at like 1 or noon or something, and have big national groups like, I don't know, Ty Segall or Mudhoney or somebody, somebody cool.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But that's a lot of work, and I have a day job and a kid and a house and a dog and my wife and 2 cars. It's just
exactly.
It goes on and on.
And it takes time. It's not like it's just you don't have like this huge posse of people. I mean, I'm sure you have people helping you out, but not like, that takes a lot of effort, especially if we're going to be getting in national acts and bigger national acts and stuff like that. So
then you're talking contracts, guarantees, insurance. This is how I organize Fuzz Fest. Check this out. Look, see this? This is my notebook. This is how I do it. I just write down a bunch of bands that I want to see, and then I call them or text them or, and then I write them down in time slots, and I don't use a computer. I don't do any of that
That's
stuff.
awesome.
Just all on my phone.
I also noticed that you're drinking Fago, which is a sponsor of Fuzz Fest, correct?
They've sponsored Fuzz Fest for years.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're awesome. I love Fago.
I love it. That's great.
They're so cool. Every year I drive down there and I pick up a bunch of cases of Fago, and it's so fun.
Heck yeah.
That's great. So you must have a pretty good, obviously you started at, you said, was it Woodrifts or Woodcliffs?
Woodrifts, yeah. Woodrifts was only open for a few years. You've heard of the Elbow Room, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that was like a mainstay for a while. Like, I don't know, I think it was like 8 or 10 years or a long time it was open. 98 to like 2010 or something. Anyway, after Elbow Room closed, the guys running that moved down the street, and they were only open there for like 6 months, and then they moved to Woodrifts, which is in Depot Town. And that was around for a few years. That was a really cool venue.
Okay.
Because it was super laid back. It was just nice to play there.
And then your transition to the Blind Pig, was that pretty easy? Those guys been pretty easy to work with, and
yeah.
It sounds like you were successful early on in getting things going, and then they probably just said, "Yeah, this makes sense."
Yeah. I know the dude who books there, Jason Berry, pretty well. He's a cool guy. He's helped me out a lot through the years. So the people at the Pig are great. They're real supportive of Fuzz Fest. They love it. So
that's awesome.
I'm really lucky. And the sound guy there, Adam, he's also in Good Man's Brother. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're a really good band. I couldn't do it without Adam because he runs the second stage PA. For a couple of years there, it was a little shaky on the second stage because I had to use my little rinky-dink PA. We didn't have monitors. I tried to tell people it was like playing the Garden Bowl at the Magic Stick or something. You know, it's like you're just there on the floor facing people, and some people are cool with that. Some people aren't.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But luckily, I got Adam now. He brings in like a top-notch PA for the second stage, and it's really good. It goes really good, really smooth.
So prior to all this, the Fuzz Fest and everything, it sounds like several decades you've been a musician. Mm-hmm. So what got you, I guess, into music early on?
Really early? Like when I was a little kid, it was the Beatles cartoon and the Monkees.
Ooh. Beatles cartoon.
I remember the Monkees show, but I don't remember a Beatles cartoon.
You guys remember Channel 50, Channel 20? The UHF channels, you know?
Oh yeah.
So I think it was Channel 50 that showed the Monkees and the Beatles cartoon when I got out of kindergarten. That's how far back that is, like late 70s.
Was there a Monkees? Was it a cartoon? I remember the normal show. It was the real life show. Yeah. It was a regular show. I remember that for sure.
We were all into Kiss too when we were really little. So, you know, my parents were rockers. My mom played Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin all the time. So I was really into that when I was young, like you know. And then around the time of 8th grade, I went over to my buddy Mark's house, the guy who sings in Mazinga. I hadn't seen him for a few years. And I was listening to like Ozzy Osbourne and Bon Jovi and stuff. I show up at his house and he's like all punk rocked out. And I was like, whoa. And so he got me into punk rock. And he was in a band and he took me to his band practice. And then they ended up playing somebody's graduation party that night. And we went to that. And so I was exposed to like a house party full of punk rockers when I was like 13. I was like, yeah, this sounds cool. I'm good.
That's badass.
Yeah. I wanted to start a band then, but I lived in Milan at the time. Nobody out there, I didn't know anybody who played music or anything. It wasn't until later in high school. And then I met some friends who played guitars and stuff. Started a band. I booked my first show in high school when I was a freshman. I set up a show at the high school. And had my friends from Ann Arbor come and play.
Oh, cool.
That's like 1988. Punk rock wasn't cool then. not in Milan.
Yeah. Yeah, the late 80s wasn't punk era.
It was totally different time.
Like,
you'd get beat up for wearing a Sex Pistols shirt or something. You know what I mean?
That's so weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is weird because like 5 years later, everybody was dyeing their hair purple, and
that's what I'm thinking. Early mid 90s is like Suicide Machines and stuff like that. That was my jam, like through high school and junior high.
Yeah, none of that stuff was popular in the late 80s. And then it slowly started, you know, like bands like Jane's Addiction and Soundgarden were getting popular. And then Nirvana came out. Boom. It just exploded after that. Yeah. I mean, there was tons of underground stuff. But as far as mainstream, like it bubbling out.
Is there a go-to? I mean, obviously you love rock, different variations of that. But is there like, what's your go-to music if there was one genre? In rock.
Oh, like, I don't know. That's tough. I guess like Sabbath. That's something. Black Sabbath. That never goes wrong for me.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, that's not a genre, but they kind of started a genre, right?
It's a mix. Yeah, a mix of different things going on for sure. Like everything nowadays, it's so hard. It's like I asked a question the other day at social media. It's like, do you want to know just the high level? If you want to know a band, do you want to know like a high level genre? Like, hey, is this rock? Or is this country? Is this rap? Or do you want to like down into the weeds? I want psych rock. I want math rock. I want punk. You know, it's kind of interesting. I mean, you can get. Is that what's going to draw you to want to listen to that band, or is it the high level? Hey, just rock. I'll take a listen.
No, I like psych rock. I like psychedelic rock, like stoner rock.
That's subgenres for sure.
Yeah,
I'm down with subgenres. Stoner rock is badass. I love it.
I mean, that also encompasses a lot of different stuff. One of my favorite groups is a band called Ash Ra Tempel. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but they're like a early 70s German band and very ambient. It's a slow build, and then it builds up to like, you know, crazy Jimi Hendrix freak out level stuff. So Ash Ra Tempel's pretty sweet.
I've been listening to Nexus Stramus. Is that their name? Nexus Stramus? That's some cool desert like stoner rock stuff. I love them. I've been on a kick of them. There's like 9-10 minute long songs. I've been listening to a lot of Sleep lately. That's that's good stuff.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
So you got Fuzz Fest, August 27th through the 29th, Thursday through Saturday. You got 11 bands each night, 7 to whenever, and at the Blind Pig. What are you looking forward to this year? Is there like a band that's like you're interested to see how they perform? Is there just, I don't know, anything that you're looking that might stand out different this year?
I can't wait to do the Snaggletooth stuff because we're bringing new stuff out, and I'm really excited about the T-shirt and the poster we're going to bring out for that. I'm excited for a bunch of the bands because they're all like they've all just put out new records. That's the other thing. I'll buy everybody's record while I'm there, so I stock up.
Yeah.
I love doing the light show. Yeah, and I've been refining that this year. I kind of started promoting myself as doing light shows under the name Eternal Eyes.
Ooh.
Okay.
So
that's cool.
And it's like overheads and the concave glass with the oil in it and stuff.
You do the oil, okay. Yep.
Yeah. But I'm trying to get more like have you heard of Super Nuclear?
Yeah, we
interviewed him. Yeah.
That's
what I was going to say.
That guy is like top notch. I want to get up to that kind of level. I'm not even close.
He's legit.
He was talking about, I don't know how many inputs he's got, but like, because he's got the oils going, and he's got the lights. Then he introduces some video as well.
But he's got it all going through the computer and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing everything hands-on, old school. Like
that's cool though.
Overhead projector, shit spilling on my shoes, like check this out. My buddy, as a present, got me these sweet Air Jordans. I don't usually wear them, but I thought they were sick. And then I spilled liquid light stuff all over the side of them.
They look like Halloween Jordans now.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome.
Just murdered someone.
Right. So, but I'm looking forward to that because I keep refining it every month or two. Like I'll get a new component or a new thing that makes it better, more streamlined, easier to do. So I'm looking forward to that. I haven't got to the point like Super Nuclear guy or there's Liquid Light Lab, that guy that everybody buys their stuff from. Whew, man.
Ooh.
I really aspire to be like those dudes because
that's cool.
But it costs so much. The program that you use on your computer is like $400. I don't have an extra $400.
Yeah,
for that. Right. Something I'll use once in a while.
Right.
So
you said it was under.
What's that?
Yeah.
You could use AI to vibe code your own program.
Yeah, I'm not into that.
No, I facetiously said that. I would never do that in a million years, but I guess you could.
Yeah, I guess. I just need a basic mixer, really. Like you get two video cameras, run them into into the projectors or into like a mixer, right? And then the mixer out to a projector. That's what I got to get to. I just need a better projector that's more powerful. And
you got to tinker.
Money and time. That's everything.
Yeah.
We agree.
And what was the name again? Is you say Eternal Eyes?
Eternal Eyes. Yeah.
Eternal Eyes. Okay.
Yeah. I'll friend you dudes. I have an Instagram page for it.
So. Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely include that in the notes too. And You got a lot going on, but like DIY, love it. You put together the festival. You're doing lights, the light show there. You're doing stage managing. You're organizing, orchestrating this. It's pretty impressive. And
plus, I haul the backline by myself usually.
Oh, really?
That part's grueling, but I'm not bragging. It's just like part of the process. It's
yeah.
insane. 2 drum sets, 2 SVT bass amps, 2 Marshall rigs, all in my van. Plus, then I got to do the second trip and get all the light show shit. It's crazy. Wow. Yeah. I usually take a couple of days off work before that.
Yeah.
We need to get you some more help.
Yeah. I've had some help this year with promotion. That's something I usually kind of am sucky at, is I don't do a good enough job promoting.
Sure. Okay.
So that's why I appreciate you guys having me on the podcast. So.
Perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
We're doing our part.
Yeah. Get it out there and share it. But I mean, it's if you've been doing this for this long, I mean, it seems like you've got the bands are excited to play and they want to be a part of this, right? And they're bringing fans and I think it's been successful. Would you say?
Yeah. Yep. It hasn't gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
I usually say that like the last night at about 11:30.
Sure.
It's like, oh, I'm done. I'm in my 50s, dudes. Like, it gets brutal.
Yeah.
Right?
12 years later, you're still kicking it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We love it.
So both your bands are playing. Mazinga, you guys are pretty active, have been for a while, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we celebrated 30 years last year.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's impressive. Yeah.
Yeah. We started that band in November of 1995.
Wow. That's cool.
And like I said earlier, I've known the singer since 1979, since first grade. Wow. Yeah. He got me into the punk rock, so.
Yeah.
Hell, man. Not too long, you guys would be like the Rolling Stones, still playing when you're in your 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, that new Rolling Stones record's pretty good. I don't know if you heard it.
I heard one single so far. I haven't heard the whole album yet, but yeah.
I mean, my expectations weren't super high, but I was like, well, this actually sounds pretty good. So, yeah.
Still
give up for the Stones.
That's right.
Hell yeah. How much is a ticket for Fuzz Fest going to be?
$15.
Oh, that's so easy.
Yeah, I tried to make it lower, but I've had to get it up to 15. So
I think 15 is low, man. I think like to see 2 or 3 bands for $10, I feel like is a steal. So to see, like, obviously you're not gonna. It's $15 per day, I would imagine, right? So if you came each night, it'd be $15.
Yeah.
But yeah, $30-$45 for 33 bands. If you were to maximize and see every band and do all the things, that's legit. That's easy for people. No one.
I don't know if many people see them all. I'm like one of the only dudes that watches every band.
Heck yeah. Well, I'm in for next year for sure. And you're wearing a Fuzz Fest shirt, so are you going to have Fuzz Fest merch there as well?
Oh yeah, there'll be shirts and posters.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're always limited. There's only I think 50 posters.
Oh, that's cool.
I only print just enough to sell because they're expensive.
I bet.
But I still get a good deal, and the company that does it, VG Kids out in Ypsilanti, they're top-notch printing place. If you ever looking to make shirts or know anybody,
okay.
VG Kids in Ypsilanti, they're awesome.
Okay.
And they always hook me up with sponsorship, and yeah.
Who does the art who's done the art this year or in the past?
So the first 7 were done by a guy named Jeremy Wheeler. He's a good friend of mine. He also helped me do the light show for many years for Fuzz Fest, and we used to work together on this thing that he ran called The Bang, which was like a crazy dance party that went on at the Blind Pig for 18 years. Wow. It was wild. But he did the first 7 posters, and now Big Tony from Mazinga, the bass player, he does the poster art for me now. The guy, he also does a lot of the Mazinga art and stuff.
Heck yeah.
Well, Chris, we appreciate you taking some time and giving us an insight into Fuzz Fest. Yeah, we're bummed we're not going to make it this year, but we'll definitely keep it on the radar for the future. But people need to get out. Check this out. It's the first weekend back for the University of Michigan. Ann Arbor is going to be crazy. Get into the Blind Pig and jam out with a a lot of great rock bands, right?
Yeah. Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Help me spread the word.
Yeah, buddy.
All right.
All
Thanks,
right.
Chris.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Rock and roll, dudes.
If you like this episode, make sure to subscribe. And also check out our website, themittenmusic.com. Sign up for future information. And also check out our social clips on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Make sure to tune into our next episode to figure out where we're going next in Season 5.